and build a tyranny for their own children and grandchildren. What's starting to happen, this is another stage of this moving, is increasing numbers of these people at that level of the pyramid are starting to see that they're not fighting for their country, they're fighting for a system and a group that wishes to destroy their country and wishes to destroy their children's freedoms. Now, one day, if this goes on, they are going to have to explain to their children and grandchildren what they were doing when the control system came in. And what they're going to say, I was helping to do it, dear. I was helping to bring it in, dear. We still can avoid that conversation. I was in New York 3 weeks ago. The first responders to 9/11 who were sent into that rubble with the authorities knowing what it contained, not least in all the asbestos that came down. And now they're struggling with terrible ill health, and the authorities don't give a damn. The first thing that those who from the target population in uniform and dark suits need to understand is the system doesn't give a damn about you. The moment you stop being able to serve the system's agenda, then they couldn't give a damn about you. These have found that out. What can we do when we start to wake up? We can cease to join the military and impose the will of the few on other countries and other populations. We can choose to do that because we need to understand, soldiers in uniform, that yes, support our troops. Oh, what wonderful people. The moment you are no longer able to serve the agenda, they don't give a damn about you. Don't give a damn. And if we understand that, as Albert Einstein said, the pioneers of a warless world are the youth that refuse military service. And, he might have added, and the adults that support those young people in doing it. Oh, you must go and serve your country. They're not serving their country. They're serving a system and a cabal that wishes to destroy their country and their freedom and their children's freedom. Enough! This is a poem or a saying by a German anti-Nazi playwright and poet. He said this, if I can see it with all the lights. General, your tank is a powerful vehicle. It tramples the forest. It crushes 100 men, but it has one flaw. It requires a driver. General, your bomber is strong. It flies faster than a storm. It loads more than an elephant, but it has one flaw. It requires a mechanic. General, man is very useful. He knows how to fly. He knows how to murder, but he has one flaw. He knows how to think. It's about time we bloody started. Like these wonderful Israeli guys and women who refuse to join the IDF's forces because they will not treat Palestinians like vermin. And refusing to do this stuff. What did they say in the 60s? What if they had a war and no one turned up? I think the people who call the war, who declare the war, are going to turn up. They're going to turn up where the bullets are firing. They're having a coffee. Know thyself. And from that position of knowing thyself, we realize that fighting is mind fighting mind. That's what it is. It's the unconscious fighting the unconscious, because conscious does not fight. It's quite blatantly obvious. Infinite consciousness, shall we go to war? What's a war? Mind fights. The left brain that sees everything as apart from everything else fights. There's another thing. Violent revolution. No, thank you. No, not today, thank you. What is violent revolution? It's bringing about the end of something which is violent and imposing by using something that is violent and imposing. And what you fight, you become. How often do we see that? Where we fight injustice by using more injustice. We fight manipulation by more manipulation. We fight violence with violence. And therefore we become eventually what we chose initially to challenge. This is mind, a meeting of mind. A mind representative riding the horse for the authorities, and a representative mind trying to be violent towards the authorities. That's going to change nothing. Freedom fighters, there's no such thing. You don't fight for freedom, you express freedom for freedom. You don't fight for peace, you peace for peace. Cognitive dissonance, lying to ourselves. That's what fighting for freedom is all about. As Martin Luther King said, the limitation of riots, moral questions aside, is that they cannot win, and their participants know it. Hence, rioting is not revolutionary, but reactionary, because it invites defeat. It involves an emotional catharsis, but it must be followed by a sense of futility. The authorities couldn't care less, really, about protest. How many people were on the streets of Spain protesting against the invasion of Iraq? Millions. Millions were on the streets of Britain doing the same. What happened? They invaded Iraq. There's another way. And it's not about hating that which seeks to control us. What we hate, we become. We meet hatred with hatred, we've got twice the hatred. We meet anger with anger, we've got twice the anger. There's another way. I'm not saying don't protest in the street, but to a very large extent, they're steam whistles. They go out, you let a bit of frustration out, nothing changes. They're not really bothered about that, and they put agents provocateurs in there to cause trouble so they can justify violence against the protest and more controls because of the absence of law and order in the protest. This is what they're terrified of, coming together. It's what they're terrified of. Us putting down the fault lines of religion and race and country and culture and income bracket. The realization that this is not a conspiracy to enslave Jewish people or Muslim people or Spanish people or middle-class Americans. It is a conspiracy to enslave all of us, and therefore, if we allow ourselves to be divided and ruled, we all suffer the consequences. When we come together, put away the fault lines. And as Martin Luther King said again, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. One level of coming together is someone else's injustice, is our injustice. Because if we do not accept that, then eventually injustice, people subject to injustice get picked off, and then someone knocks on our door. Oh, help me with this. Oh, there's nobody there. Now, as the pastor said after Nazi Germany, first they came for the Jews, and I was not a Jew, so I did nothing. Then they came for the communists, and I was not a communist, so I did nothing. Then they came for the trade unionists. I was not a trade unionist, so I did nothing. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. That's what happens